So today also we are going to discuss about the same things, which are the day-to-day related activities uh, with respect to the virtual machine. So in our previous class, we were looked at how to start the virtual machine and stop the virtual machine. How can you do the snoozing to save the run cost during the off business hours? And if you want to troubleshoot any kind of performance related issues, how can you analyze which service or process is causing more CPU and memory consumption? So that is called as performance check. This can be done in two ways. One is you can log into the virtual machine, go to the task manager, and you can analyze in the performance blade. You can just analyze what CPU and the processor and the services is consuming more. Okay. Meantime, you can also look at the Azure portal in the metrics blade. Okay, from there also you can look at the consumption and take the analysis. Okay, that is we learnt about in the last class. And also we were talking about how can you increase or no or decrease the size of the virtual machine. I mean the upscale and the downscale. How can you do that? That we discussed in the previous class, and also looked up at the disk addition of a new disk, increase in the disk size, decreasing the disk size. We all learned about these things as well. Okay, so today two things left out. One is how can you take the image of a virtual machine, okay, to safeguard the as is status of the virtual machine for the future usage. That one thing we have to do. And another one is the activity logs and the resource health check. Okay, so how can you analyze that? Okay, let us start with the activity logs and then resource health check, and then we will go for the imaging. Okay, so if you go to the Azure Blade, right? If you go to the Azure Blade here, you will have the virtual machines with us. Okay, so imagine this particular virtual machine is now. If you go to the overview blade, you will see the current status of the virtual machine. Okay, you can see this virtual machine is there. The test RG01 and and this VM is stopped deallocated status. You already know deallocated means this virtual machine is not using any hardware in the data center. That means there is no charge incurring for this particular VM only when you stop the virtual machine from the portal. If you shut down the VM within the operating system, okay, if you shut down the VM within the operating system, then there is still the cost will be occurring for this particular VM. So that is why always you have to stop the virtual machine and not the shutdown. Shutdown means it is within the operating system you are shutting down, but when you are stopping the virtual machine, that means you are stopping the VM from the Azure console. So as soon as you click on the stop button in the data center, whatever hardware this particular VM is running, that will be released. Okay, and since it is getting released, there is no cost will be incurred for that particular VM. Okay, so now let me start this virtual machine. So I'll click on start virtual machine. So stopping and starting will not take much time. Okay, it will hardly take about 30 to 40 seconds in Azure. Okay, if it is huge size like E64, E128, okay, E256, such kind of machines are there. M series, M128, all those machines are there. They will be used for very bigger operations. SAP certified SKUs we call it as. Okay, so to run an SAP application, SAP recommend you to use E series and M series. That is the reason. And SAP require more number of memory and more number of CPUs. Okay, ECC system, your CRM system, there are many systems are there. Okay, now if you look at this particular virtual machine got successfully started, test -VM01. Okay, now let me connect to this particular VM and see whether it is I'm able to connect or not. Let me click on connect. Yes, I can click on connect. You can either use this public IP, copy the public IP, go to MSTSC in the run, and you can put the public IP here. Okay, and you can connect. See, I'm able to connect. You can also do one thing. Instead of copying the file, if you don't want to, here you have an RDP file option. Okay, download the RDP file, click on it and connect. Okay, now I need to enter the password. Password at the rate 123 is my password, and is now getting connected. See, my virtual machine is now getting connected. You can see I am inside the operating system now. I am inside the virtual machine. So you see I have already created a data file uh, yesterday, but I would like to copy that one. I can make some more changes within the files and folder. Okay, let me let me create one more folder. Okay, so now I am trying to create another folder. I can keep it as data 2. Okay, maybe inside that I'll create one more file, a text file with the name 27th May 2024. This is the file created to make sure your image is taken as is backup. Okay, so I'm just saving it. Let me keep it here. For now, I'll go back to the portal and will show you about the activity logs. Okay, so if you have, say for example, Azure portal means there are so many people will be logging into the virtual machine and they'll be doing a lot of activities, and you wanted to know who does what. So in the operating system level we have this event viewer, right? Similar to that we have this activity log in the Azure portal. If you want to see what all activities got performed, I don't know, have been done in the so and so hours or so and so time, you can just come to this activity log and you can refer it and you can see the logs here. See, as soon as I go to the activity log, you can pick up the time here. Last hour is there. I will put it in last 2 weeks because so that you will see the old logs and all apply. Okay, see all the other errors, everything it is coming. Let me close that. You can see create or update the virtual machine. Who has done it? Creation of the virtual machine was done by manju underscore tg at the rate hotmail.com. DC, somebody has shut down, deallocated the VM. That is the same thing. And see, start virtual machine. Beambrai has got started the virtual machine. He delocated the virtual machine. Okay, like that, you can see all the activities related to that particular virtual machine. I mean, whatever activities you performed at the portal level. Again, inside the operating system level. Okay, inside the operating system level, you have an other event viewer. Okay, go to the run event vwr. This is a command, event viewer. If you open this, you see all the events related to this particular VM here. Okay, go to the, you can maximize it. Okay, and go to the Windows logs. This is system. It depends on, whatever logs you wanted to see. If you want to go for an application related, you can just go and see it here. Okay, here if you go to the Microsoft, say for example, if you want to see some printer related. Okay, so if that is the case, go to Windows, here Microsoft, Windows, printer, example. uh, if you come and see here, all the printer related will be there. Okay, how many printer got, installed, how many printouts have been taken, who has taken the printout, what time he has given the printout, how many pages were there, how many got successful, how many got, fail, everything, all the events will be seen here. Okay, just an example I'm giving you. Okay, so like that you can look at the whatever activities happen within the operating system that can be seen inside the event viewer. You should have an idea about it. Okay. See here, something error is there. You can just right click and do the filter here. Filter the current log. You can only see error and critical. We don't need both warning and information, right? Then you see only the errors here, and every error has got an event. See event ID 20179646. Okay, so if you don't know how to do that, I'll show you one more. Okay, it is easy for you. If you don't know anything, say for example, how to find who shut down my computer from the event viewer. Okay, example, how to find out. Okay, everything will have one event ID. Okay, if you I'm trying to show you how can you do that with the help of Google. Okay, so see, Windows log system, they should be able to trace something wrong caused by PC down. Okay, okay, here only they're turning. This is not 70144 if I'm not wrong. 1 second. What I did, I just went to the system. Okay, and you wanted to see the 1074. 1074 means the system shut down a reason. Okay, so what I did, 1074 I did, it's 1074. Okay, and I did the filter out. And if you just double click this event now, you will be able to see who does what. See the process called C Windows System 32 SPC host.exe under the VM test-VM01 has been initiated for shutdown of the computer, this one. Okay, and the reason is planned. Okay, who does everything, you can see it here. User is system, because this shutdown has happened from the Azure portal, and that is the reason it shows it is done by VM. Okay, system. If a user who does from the operating system level, right, that can be seen in my name. See, let me know what I'll do. I will just restart this VM from the operating system level. Let me do the restart from the operating system level. Here, restart. Now if I do the restart from here, now it will just have my name in the time under timestamp. Okay, a user called local administrator restarted the virtual machine at 7:50 a.m. 27th of May 2024. Okay, that will be stamped there. So it will take some time. And let me check the portal level as well, if I can see the logs at the portal level. Normally these activity logs will be only captured at the portal level changes, but the operating system level things will be captured in the event viewer inside the OS. Okay, so let me connect to that. So I'm connecting to this now. So it is still booting up, so it will take some time. It got powered on now. Let me quickly go to the event viewer and see now that 1074 got triggered in my name. So how to go to the event viewer? just go to the run and type the command called event viewer. You can do like that, or if you don't know the commands, you can just type here event in the search option. You can type event viewer. This open. You can go there, and now go to the Windows logs here, go to the system logs here. Okay, and then you will see the latest events here recorded. You can export, you can import, uh, not import, you can export all the events actually, or you can even I mean, if you don't want to capture all the logs, again there is an option, enable logs or disable logs, that can be done. Okay, so now let me filter it out. Find 1074. See here, there is an event called, okay, if you look at the time, it is 2:20:43 a.m. Same 2:24 means 2-3 minutes happened, it is restarted to restart the right thing, right, machine. Now if you see the process called C Windows Explorer.exe test VM01 has initiated the restart of the computer test-VM01 on behalf of the user test-VM01 slash local administrator. Okay, and the following reason is unplanned. Okay, type of shutdown is restart, means it is clearly telling who is the person who restarted this one. Who is the person? It is test-VM01 slash local administrator account. Okay, and the reason is unplanned. Okay, this is how you trace out what has happened inside the operating system. So now you know how can you review the activity logs from the portal level, and also within the operating system level, how can you find out the events. This is what event IDs. People will ask you what is the restart event ID or shutdown event ID. You can mention it is 1074. Okay, similarly in the Active Directory also we have an option, this frequently account lockout will be there. Okay, the frequent account lockout has got one event ID. What you have to do, you have to go to the applications here. In this we don't have, you go to the Microsoft. Okay, and then here under Windows you have Microsoft Active Directory will be there. Go to that Active Directory, find out that event ID, and if you open that event ID, particular event ID, that will tell you from which computer this particular the bad password is getting replicated. So you will get the computer name, then in that computer you have to clear the old password. Okay, then that frequent account lockout issues will not be reoccurring. Okay, so this is about this event viewer and the activity log. So now next one is the resource health blade. Okay, if you go to the Azure portal, right, so there is an option of looking at the health of this particular VM at the data center level. Okay, so if you scroll down little down, okay, so here you have an option called resource health here. Okay, sometimes what happens, the computer in the portal, okay, if you go to the overview, it shows running here. See, it is running, there is no error, the machine is running, you are able to ping, I'm able to ping. See, if you want to see how whether it is pinging or not, just pick this up, go to command prompt and ping, ping, and put the IP address, and if you see this 51.124.185.44, it is actually pinging. Why it is not pinging, I'll show you, because inside the operating system level maybe the firewall is on. Okay, if I just turn off the firewall, and at the NSG level, if I enable the ICMP, okay, it should be pinging. See, at the NSG level here, what I have to do, I have to go to the network security groups here, virtual machine, subnet, Go to the networking setting here. This is the NSG. Okay. So there, if I go to the inbound rules, see ICMP is not enabled. I can quickly add a rule here. Any custom tags port range is star. I'll put star and put ICMP. Allow priority is fine. See, by default, anything that is incoming, right, that is disabled. If you see here, there is a rule priority. I mean, there is a rule created with the highest priority 65,500, and that says deny all inbound. That means that it is denying everything which is incoming services. Okay, and on top of that, whatever connection is required, we are creating a rule with less priority. See, 300, 320, 340, 350, and I'm telling to allow the connection, right? One second, if I go now, it should be able to ping. See, now it is allowing me to ping 51.124.185.44. That means, see, we keep this virtual machine somewhere in the remote data center. Correct? Na? We don't know how Microsoft is managing, and I don't want everybody to ping. I don't want anybody to know that yes, there is a communication between my computer and this particular computer which is there in the Azure cloud. If people come to know that, then they start penetrating to the network and they start trying to hack, do the activities, right? So I don't want to do that. That is why Microsoft has given the firewalls at multiple levels. One is your peripheral firewall, which is enabling the connection between your external world and the internal world. Another one is your operating system level firewall. Another one is you have an option called NSG, Network Security Group. Okay, that network security group is nothing but it is a kind of firewall which can be applied at the subnet level as well as at the network interface card level. So that network security groups by default disable all the incoming connection. If you look at, there is a rule called deny all inbound, and see the connection port is any, protocol is any, source is any, destination is any, and the action is deny. Means irrespective of the connection type, whether it is a TCP protocol, ICMP protocol, or any protocol, or any port for that matter, any source, any destination, by default it delays all the connections. And if you want to allow some connection, what you have to do, you have to explicitly create a rule with lesser priority, because lesser the priority, lesser the number here. If you look at the priority number here, priority, if you see the number here, lesser the number, higher the priority. Means if you give less number, it will consider that as a most priority. So here 65,500 says delay deny all inbound. Correct na? But this 300 says allow RDP. See, allow RDP. Then what it will do? It will tell there is a explicit rule to enable the connection for RDP with 300 and lesser priority. Then I should be allow this connection. Similarly, what I did now, I have created a new rule with value 350, and I said allow any custom connection inbound. Okay, only for the ICMP, and that is allow rule. Okay, that is why now my this computer allowed me to ping the connection here. Okay, that is why I'm able to ping now. Okay, so this is the NSG one. So I'm able to ping now. I'm able to ping now. Okay, so now you know how to how the NSG works. Okay, how the what is it, how to enable the NSGs, and how can you test the connection. So what I was talking about, I was talking about the resource health, right? So sometimes what happens here, the virtual machine shows it is still running in the overview blade. Okay, but when you are trying to ping, it is pinging. But when you try to take the RDP, it was not allowing you to take the RDP, it says no connections found, or maybe the computer is not up and running, some kind of errors will come. Then you wanted to see what exactly the reason. Then what you have to do, you have to go to this help here and go to resource health. That will give the insights of this particular VM at the data center level. So you don't know what exactly the reason, what exactly the problem there in the data center. Okay, anything that is related to the platform level at the data center, they will display that information here in the resource health blade. Okay, if you look at here on 5th 27th of May, okay, today there are 3 health events. If you just expand those, right, it will tell what are the problems. Okay, see, virtual machines allocated, the reason you can see, and if you want to download a PDF for your RCA, you can just download it. Okay, and then you can see it here, started by user, some customer initiated, means customer means it's me. Okay, I have logged in, I have initiated the power on. Okay, and there is unavailable because it got rebooted, right? That event will be there. Sometimes what happens, they will clearly tell us there is an issue with the underlying hardware at the data center level. If you want to redeploy, you can just click on the button and you can see redeployment. Okay, instead of download here, there will be a button called redeploy. If you just click on the redeploy, that means that particular virtual machine will be released from that particular faulty hardware, and it will move that operating system from one hardware to another hardware in the data center. So the same application will be there. Okay, everything will be there. Just fraction of seconds, the VM will go down and it get redeployed to the another hardware. Okay, so in the virtual machine word, we call it as vMotion, that we do manually moving the virtual machine from one hardware to another hardware. We call it as vMotion. Okay, the same thing here, redeploy means you are moving that particular VM from one hardware to another hardware. Okay, so that can be seen it here. You don't need to use your extra brain. If you just come to the resource plate, you will have some notifications and warning, and you have to understand whether is there any issue or not. Now you see, there are not any known Azure platform problem affecting this particular virtual machine, means there is no health issues currently for that particular VM in the data center. If any issue is there, they will only display here. Okay, there is some underlying hardware, some upgrade is happening, some activities going on, kindly redeploy your virtual machine. Then to redeploy the virtual machine, click on this button, then automatically the VM will be moved from one hardware to another hardware in the data center. Okay, after that the VM will be healthy. So that is what the performance one. Globally, you have one health, resource health. See, like we have resource health for one that particular VM, we also have service health. Okay, we also have service health for the entire service available in the globe. Okay, see here, this is what, whatever the dots you see now here, the blue dots, in all these places we have the data center of Azure. So we have Microsoft data center everywhere, wherever you see the dots. Okay, in India also you see dots, you can see, right? That means whatever service is there, is there any issue with that particular service, globally they will display it here. Say for example, in South India or Central India, if the virtual machines of E series virtual machines are having some issue, then they will display the issue here. Okay, you can see any planned maintenance is there, that will come here. Okay, any health advisor is there, you can click it here and you can see. Okay, like that it will clearly tell you, it will become red here. Say for example, see, healthy locations will be green, blue. Okay, and affected locations will be like this, red color pyramid symbol will be there. So as of now, there is no issue at the Microsoft entire world. Okay, if you want to understand that, you can just come and have a look at here. No active service issues as of now. That means we are good. This is overall service health you can see at the portal level. The previous one what I was referring, that was the resource health, that particular resource health. Okay, these two things don't get confused. And you can set the notification for this one, stating that whenever there is an issue with some any particular services in the cloud, you can send an email to me. So you can configure that automation, so every time you get the notification as and when there is an issue. Okay, so now we are done with most of the things. Start, snoozing, performance, upscale, downscale, disk creation, increasing, decreasing the disk size, disk snapshot, activity log, and service health and resource health. Right now, the last one what I wanted to show you is the image part. Okay, so now how can you take the image of a virtual machine to safeguard the application? Say for example, now I have a virtual machine, this virtual machine, right? And if you look at, I have some data kept on the desktop option here. If you look at, I have two data files, one is data, another one is data 2. I want to make sure my data and my information or my particular server with the current status is secured enough. Okay, so what I will do, I will quickly go to this Azure portal. Okay, and you have an option here called capture. If you click on the capture, right, then it is taking the current configuration as on, I mean as is status. It is capturing the as is status of the virtual machine. Okay, but it will take the virtual machine down, it will shut down the virtual machine, that we test VM01, or sometimes even that test VM01 will get deleted because this particular VM will become an image now. Okay, so let me take you to the portal and do the capture to show you. Okay, let me click on the capture here. So now I clicked on the capture option. So it says test-rj01, yes, and it's in Western Europe region. Sharing image to the Azure Compute Gallery, yes. That's what I told you, right? When, as soon as you take the image of this VM, this test-VM01 will get deleted, and you can see that particular image available in the marketplace. Okay, and if you don't want to store that as a market image, you can just capture it as a managed image, and then it will go and sit in the images of your you have an option called images in the global search. Okay, if you see images here, you get images and it will go and sit in the images option here. Okay, so let me put it in the images only. So what I'll do, so I will give a name for this one, test hyphen, it is image, and it is taken on 27th May 2024. Okay, so I don't want to give any tags actually, so review and create. Now it is running the final validation is successful, and you can see this subscription free trial, resource group is this one, test-rj01, region is this one. I am not sharing the image to the compute gallery. Automatically delete this virtual machine after the image. If you just click on this yes here, see, automatically delete this virtual machine after creating this image. If you want to delete it, you can delete it. Previously there was no option. Okay, now you have an option. If you want to retain, you can retain. And see, zone resiliency, this virtual machine is in Western Europe now. Okay, if you want to have the zone resiliency, means if you want to safeguard this application to restore in any of the Azure region, then you can click on it one. If you don't click on this option, you can only deploy the VM in Western Europe using this image. If you want to deploy it in Northern Europe, you cannot do. If you want to deploy it in US or India, you cannot do it because I am not enabling the zone resiliency. If you look at here, zone resilient snapshots can be used in any of the availability zone. Okay, so let me put it as this one only, and let me keep this virtual machine also. So review and create. So zone resiliency is important. Otherwise, you will not be able to build the VM in any other region or any of the availability zones. So now, see, it is stopping the virtual machine. Let me open a duplicate page and show you the deployments, whatever is happening in that particular RJ. Okay. See, my RDP got disconnected because I'm shutting down the VM, right? So that is the reason. So now if I go to the resource groups, not the resource group, it won't show you in the resource group. If I see the deployments here, it won't show you. But however, you can see the status of the VM here. If you see the virtual machine status, it is now running. It is shutting down. In fact, let me refresh. Yeah, it will get shut down. It will take some time. See, deployment is in progress. In the test, okay, test -rc01 only. Okay, let me just refresh then. Deployments, everything succeeded only. Yeah, let this get happen. So no worries. So deployment succeeded. So now go to the resource. You see here this image is there. So this image is there in the images gallery. Now if you go to the images here, search the images here, and you see there is an image called test-vm01 image created on 27th May 2024, right? So let me check the status of this VM now. See, the test-vm01, it got deallocated now. So it deallocates the VM and takes the snapshot, not the snapshot, take the image and kept that image stored in the images gallery here, image galleries. Now what you can open this VM, okay. In that you have an option called create a VM or clone to a VM image. Okay. Now click on create a VM here and give a name called test-vm02, okay, where it is Western Europe only. And if you see, I have enabled the zone resiliency. That is the reason it is allowing me to create that VM wherever I wanted. I wanted in zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. Not the cross region, guys. It is within the region, different availability zones. Okay. Since I have enabled the zone resiliency for that particular image. Okay. So let me keep it in the zone 2 because I don't have skews there. And if you see, the image is not picking up see, there is n number of VMs in the marketplace. See, marketplace images to get started. If you see, there are n number of marketplace images: Ubuntu, Oracle, Windows Server 2022, 19, 16, Windows 10 Pro, and there, if you expand, see all option, it will give you plethora of options. But now it is automatically picked up. The image is picked up. See, chooses the base operating system or application for the VM, but the one which I created now, test-vm01 image. Okay, so let me select that one only. Let me go to the disk option. I am not creating anything. Next. See, here public IP is there. Click on create a new. Just put the PIP 01. Just add. I need to RDP. I need to enable. Next, rest everything is fine. Let me. Basics is not, something is missing in the basics. What is that? Changing basic options may reset selections you have made. Review all the options to creating the virtual machine. See, username I have not added. So local administrator, local admin. Okay, it's fine. Password is password @123. Password @123. Sometimes if you forgot the password, you can reset from the portal itself. I'll show you that. So now review. The validation will be passed. Running the final validation here. Validation passed. I'm creating a VM now. Now, what I'm doing, I am creating the VM not using the marketplace image. I am using the image which I got created. Okay, why I use that? I told you, right? If you want to build n number of VMs, say for example, if you want to build around 20 to 30 VMs and you don't have much time, and if you freshly build the VM, what you have to do, you have to install all the agents. You have to install your monitoring agent, backup agent, your vulnerability scanner event, and your CMDB agent. There are multiple agents you have to install, and you have to make a lot of changes in the configuration, registry, application installation, directory, everything, right? So if you want, you have to do, instead of doing that in all the 25 machines, do all the settings in one machine and capture the image and build remaining 24 machines using that image. So it won't take much time. See now, building a VM, taking the image took 2 minutes, and building the image from that, building a new VM from that particular image will take another 2 minutes. Okay, so it's very easy. That saves lot of time. Okay, the 30 to 40 minutes of configuration, 1 hour of configuration got reduced because you are using the same ready image whatever you have taken. Okay, so now the test VM02 is building. I'll show you. After the build, you will see the data and data 02 folders. That means your application and your information is safeguarded. It's a quicker option actually. If you look at here, I think I have clicked 2 times. That is the reason this test VM02 already got built and it is running. If you look at second time, I have clicked on the same button. That is the reason it says one VM guest agent is already running, stating that one got failure. So it's fine then. So now let me go to this test-VM02. It is still building, I guess. Let me try to connect. Download the RDP file. Double click on it. Test-VM02. Connect. PASSWRD at the rate 123. See, this is test-v inside the operating system. It is test-VM01. 1 second, let me shut this on. Go to the activity overview, relocate it. This is S02. It says the last operation performed on this VM failed. This VM is still running. If you want to see the error, you can see it has not properly been deleted. Okay, understood. So let me try one more time, otherwise we will rebuild it again. Okay, mstsc, trying to log in, local administrator PASSWRD at the rate 123. See, it still says test-VM01 because this name is inside the operating system. So that you need to again change. Okay, at the portal level it is test-VM02 is there, but inside the operating system it is test-VM01 is there. Okay, that's okay, but we need to rename it. As soon as you logged into the VM, you need to rename it. Okay, so it's still showing some error. What we have to do, we will try to rebuild the VM again. Okay, I'll go to the virtual machine, create a virtual machine, click on virtual machine here, give some name, put it in the same RG, no problem. Virtual machine is v test -vm vm03. Western Europe availability zone, I don't need it, it's okay. So here, instead of using this one, you can use the images. So click on my images. Okay, and you select this image. This size is not available, right? See, all this, whatever size is available, this is available. Okay, fine. Username is like local administrator, password is password at the rate 123. Same password, I'm repeating it again. Okay, RDP I'm enabling. Disk I don't need anything. Networking, yes, I'll keep it in the same. The subnet I've created, review and create. Now let me check. You have said the okay, fine. Validation created. Let me click on create. So it will take a while. Initiated the deployment. So I'll pause the video for a while and we can start once it is done. It says deployment is in progress and you can see it here. The test -VM03, it is in progress. Building is in progress. But other things like your network security group and your network interface got built already. Okay, only the VM is getting created now. So it will take a while. What is this error? Let me check what is this error. Okay. Additional details from the underlying API that might be helpful. At least one resource deployment operation failed. Okay, maybe some issues there at the portal level. Okay, maybe because I told you right, we are all using the test VMs and they will only give the test environment, some older environment for practicing purposes. Maybe this particular image is not compatible with the current hardware whatever I'm getting it in the portal level. Okay, so but anyway, this is how you build the, you will take the images and you will build the virtual machine. So once this virtual machine is ready, right, if you go to the virtual machine, if you are able to log into this particular VM, okay, you can see the same data inside the operating system. You will see the test-VM01 only, and you will see the same data, same application, all the configurations are same. There is no changes. Later if you want to rename this computer from the operating system level, then you go inside the operating system and you can just rename it to the whatever name you wanted, and you can start leveraging that application server. Okay, so what I'll do, let me quickly restart it and see once. Okay, stop it and start it again, and VM03 as well, because even it is also unable to connect now. So stop this one and start it again and then use it. So the test VM02 still running state. Refresh. I'm just shutting down this test-VM02. Once this gets shut down completely, gracefully, and then power on that, and then try to log in and show if that fixes the issue. Okay. Yeah. Now we can see this deallocation of the virtual machine got completed, successfully stopped the virtual machine, right? Now what I'll do, let me refresh it and power on this test VM02 and then check if I can log in to that particular VM. So test VM, I'm starting it again. Let me click on start. You can see starting the virtual machine. So starting the virtual machine will take some time, 30-40 seconds it will take. So let me pause the video for that particular time. Yeah. So looks like there is some issue at the platform level. Okay, so this is how, but anyway, this is how you take the snapshot, sorry, image of a VM and you build the VM, fresh VM from that image. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll pause the video for here now. So I will try to take an other image and I'll store it in the marketplace and try to build the VM, and I'll show you that in the next class. Okay, so time up. Thank you all for joining. Have a good day. Bye bye.